Hey, what's up, guys? It's Spencer with the Fantasy Fanatics. We are 2 days away, Nathan.
Hmm.
We are 2 days away from some real football,
Meaningful score counts. I'm so ready.
non-college football,
That is correct.
some fantasy football.
Yes.
Today, we will be going through the running back rankings. Um, I think
We
we
doing
have,
top 30?
yeah, we're doing top 30. Looking at the list, we have some big differences, unlike the quarterbacks where we were just kind of, you know, one or two spots away from each other. I see some with a 7. I see a couple 7
Yeah.
pick differences. I see some 5s. I see some 4s.
Mhm.
So it will be interesting. It won't be all the same like kind of the quarterbacks were, but let's get into it. I have Jonathan Taylor at 2. You got him at 1. He's our not consensus, but he is our first running back ranked. I don't know why I said that so weird, but he has a great matchup against Houston. Um,
Mhm.
I have McCaffrey above him, which we'll get into in a second. Uh, but Jonathan Taylor at Houston, that's probably the second best matchup behind at Jacksonville. That he's going to get
Yeah.
all. I don't know which defense is worse, but
I
they're
mean
both.
Houston's some dog water. I could
Uh,
see the J train going for 200 yards and like 2 tuds.
I mean, you were scared that he might leave the game in the third or fourth quarter in that quarterbacks video we were talking about.
Yep. I mean, I think it's going to be a massacre. Unless Davis Mills can just start slinging that thing or Damian Pierce gets going, Jonathan Taylor's going to run all over those dudes.
But everybody who picked Jonathan Taylor at 1 this summer is going to be jumping with joy at 1 o'clock on Sunday when Jonathan Taylor's running all over Houston.
Yep. Number 2, we've got McCaffrey. The home game versus Cleveland. Baker Mayfield revenge game. I could see McCaffrey having a great game. He should get fed. I feel like the top 3 in our rankings are all kind of interchangeable for various reasons. He's our average number 2. Spencer's got him as his number 1. I've got him as a number 3. Can't go wrong. If you have him, set it, forget it. He's going to have a great game.
I think there's an argument to be made every week McCaffrey's healthy. He should be top 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I think the top 3 are probably matchup proof.
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't. Then maybe after that, some of them, have to have a really bad matchup to fall. But the top
Mhm.
3, I think, are matchup proof. They're going to get theirs no matter what.
Yep.
But Derrick Henry at 3, I have him at 3. You have him at 2. Like we said, they're interchangeable. They're facing the Giants, so without Blake Martinez now, that's a awesome matchup. Derrick Henry might have 150 and 3 touchdowns. It wouldn't surprise me. But he also has those games where it's like he has 50 yards. And
I just don't see that happening against the Giants at home. I think it's
yeah,
going to absolutely destroy them.
yeah. I mean, if there was a team, they can get up big on the Giants because the Giants have such a bad offense and just feed it to Derrick Henry. I just had a funny thought pop up in my head. Do you remember when Tennessee was riding Dontrell Hillard and Adrian Peterson last year around week 10?
Deonta Foreman,
What a fun time to be alive.
is that who it was?
Yeah, it was between Dontrell Hillard, Deontay Foreman, Adrian Peterson.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that goes into show that also no more AJ Brown, no more Julio, and they've got Traylon Burks and Robert Woods, so you don't know what to expect.
Two question marks.
Yeah, so you know what you're getting in Derrick Henry. You're getting a 6'3" freight train coming down the field.
I wonder if they'll kind of lighten up on his workload a little bit
No,
to start the season. You don't think so?
no, I don't think so.
So
I could see him getting 30 touches.
I mean, I could too. I mean, Derrick Henry is one of the few guys in the league who can get 30 touches and you're not worried about injury.
Right.
Because he had such a great injury history prior to last year.
Yeah, I think it was just a fluke.
Yep. But who do you have for?
Number 4, Austin Ekeler. We've got him number 5 on both of our rankings. He comes in at average number 5. 4th in our rankings. He's got Vegas at home. I predict a shootout here. 2 very high-powered AFC West offenses. I think he's going to get a ton of looks. I'm predicting 120 and a tud.
That's something. I mean, what he did last year, he has a chance to score 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, should be a shootout. Great game, great for fantasy. Set and forget it.
Austin Ekeler is a RB1. Lock it in. Another RB1 while healthy. Dalvin Cook, such a talented running back. facing Green Bay. So not a great matchup, but it always kind of feels like Dalvin Cook has a good game against Green Bay.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's always true, but it just kind of feels like he always has one of those 50-yard runs. I'm at 4, so I'm above Ekeler. I love Dalvin Cook. I know in our draft at five, I was picking. I was talking all summer about picking Dalvin Cook, but Christian McCaffrey fell to me. I love Dalvin Cook. Not a great matchup, but I think he's a top 5 locking in while he's healthy.
Yeah, not mad at it. I've got him at 7, just a little bit lower, just because the matchup against Green Bay should be a very competitive game. I don't expect this to necessarily be a shootout, but Dalvin Cook should get his. Number 6, Alvin Kamara at Atlanta. I think this is a fantastic matchup for him. Spencer's got him at 7. I've got him at 4. Jameis coming back with Michael Thomas, Olave, Landry. So like the whole, quote unquote new receiving core minus Michael Thomas. I think Kamara's going to get fed. I could see him having McCaffrey type usage, especially in that offense. If it takes Michael Thomas and Jameis a little longer to get going, Kamara's going to get leaned on. Atlanta's a great matchup. They should absolutely blow them out of the water. So set it and forget it for Kamara.
Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about a little bit about Kamara, and I might be overreacting, is I'm scared Mark Ingram might steal away some of the goal line work.
I don't see it. I think Ingram did not look good on the Texans.
I feel like maybe that was Sean Payton who loved Mark Ingram, but I just feel like he could legit steal, 5 or 6 touchdowns away from Kamara this year. But we will see, on Sunday. Maybe. So, but Joe Mixon at 7 for us. I have him at 8. You have him at 6. Pittsburgh's not a great matchup, but Mixon's going to get his work no matter what. He has to compete with touches with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. But I still see him, I think he's a lock for 15-plus carries every week.
Yeah, agreed. Pittsburgh's not a great matchup. Even though both defenses are pretty good, especially Pittsburgh, I could see this being a relatively high-scoring game, to be honest. I think that Cincinnati offense is so good.
I could see Mixon leading the league in touchdowns.
I could too, for sure.
I could touches. See, the receivers getting down to the 5-yard line and Mixon just finishing off like a lot of drives.
Yeah.
So I think he could be a touchdown machine this year.
Yeah. Spencer's got him at 8. I've got him at 6. On the other side of that coin is Najee Harris, who we flip-flop. Spencer's got him at 6. I've got him at 8. He's going to be the focal point of that offense. It's looking like Trubisky's going to be their week 1 starter. So not necessarily ideal for fantasy purposes, but Najee should get fed. A lot of dump-offs, a lot of carries at Cincinnati. He's got a respectable defense. You draft him as your RB1. Set it, forget it. Don't think about it. He's going to get his.
Yeah, I think we have about probably 2 more players, maybe 1. Maybe Swift is the end of the RB1 discussion. But Swift against Philly, that's kind of a so-so matchup. But Swift is so good. I think I saw last year before he got hurt or was dealing with injuries, he was like a top 6-7 running back.
Yeah.
And PPR leagues. This is half PPR. I think he is a candidate to catch 5, 6, 7 passes any week.
He's explosive.
And he's their best offensive weapon. I mean, you could say anything you want about Amon-Ra St. Brown or TJ Hawkinson. DeAndre Swift is their best offensive weapon. And they got to give him 15, 20 touches to stay competitive.
Yeah, Philly should have a great offense. So Detroit's going to have to keep up. I think Swift is going to get fed. Let's see. Next, number 10, we've got Aaron Jones at Minnesota. Spencer's got him at 9. I've got him at 10. We flip-flopped on the Swift rankings. He should be the focal point of the offense. I think he's, without a doubt, their best offensive player behind Rodgers. Without a doubt, their best weapon. Allen Lazard, I don't think is going to fill those shoes. Neither is like Cobb or either of the rookies. So I think him and A.J. Dillon should get plenty. I just think Aaron Jones is going to get more. And it's a great matchup against Minnesota.
And it's not great because I think A.J. Dillon might be their second best offensive weapon.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to get A.J. Dillon involved because he's too good not to get involved. I just think Aaron Jones, I predict probably 11 carries, six catches, and I think that's plenty of work for Aaron Jones, a super talented dude, to make it work. And he's kind of a touchdown machine at some points.
Yeah, and he's a big play waiting to happen. He's
I
very
think he could.
explosive.
I think he could play some slot, move Randy out of there.
No, I don't see that happening.
You don't think Aaron Jones plays any slot?
No, I don't.
All right, but Saquon next.
Yep, Saquon we've got at number 11. Or no, this is you. Go ahead.
Oh, Saquon at 11. Tennessee is kind of just one of them so-so matchups. What Saquon are we going to get? Are we going to get 2018 Saquon? Or are we going to get Saquon who just looked like he was stuck in the mud last year? I'd say another year off of that ACL tear, that Saquon's going to be ready to roll and show everybody that he's that offensive player of the year candidate type player. May take a couple weeks to get into it. That's why we have him at 11. He could very well, after 2 good weeks, slip up into our top 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I mean, he could even, if there's anybody down here, he could be the guy who could be 1 in 5 weeks, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, he's shown in the past he's incredibly talented. It's just A, can he stay healthy, and B, is he going to look like the old Saquon?
Such a awful offense too.
Yes, that is very true.
Um,
Next, we got James Conner. Arizona plays Kansas City at home. Spencer's got him ranked 12th. I've got him at 14. Should get plenty of volume. He's not incredibly efficient with the volume that he gets, but when they get near the goal line, they like to go to him. There's no Hopkins, so those jump balls where kind of just throw it up to Hopkins on the left. I see those going to Conner. I think they're going to try and pound it in. Not much competition for touches with Eno Benjamin and maybe Darrell Williams. So
no Chase Edmonds either. So
right. James Conner, I'd say high end RB2. Kansas City, I would expect to get ahead in this game, so maybe they won't be running the ball quite as much, but he should still get plenty of looks.
Yeah, could be a shootout. Nick Chubb at 13 going against Carolina, so kind of a good matchup. But I'm at 15, you have him at 12. I just don't see people who are arguing that he is a nice RB1. I just don't see that. Jacoby Brissett's his quarterback. He's in, he's going to be the focal point for every defense. He's fighting with touches for Kareem Hunt. It's not going to be a great team. You kind of got to hope the defense keeps him in the game, and Carolina would be a good team to keep that in. But, I mean, Baker Mayfield could get up 21-0 in this game and just totally phase Nick Chubb out of the offense.
Yeah, you hope they don't get behind because then they go away. They lean towards Kareem Hunt. But this is going to be a heated game with Baker, the Baker rivalry. Or Baker comeback game. You never know. Nick Chubb could get it going early, and then they just keep going to him. But I think he's in the RB2 range. If you picked him, you're probably banking on making the playoffs and getting Deshaun Watson back in the view for that. That way Nick Chubb can kind of get going a little more, but we shall see.
Not a sexy second round pick, but he's going to get the job done. I don't think he has the ceiling as these other guys do, but he has the floor with a consistent 8-10 points in non-PPR formats.
Yeah, he's going to get very bare minimum probably 15 touches a week. They've got to. Otherwise, they're going to be banking on Jacoby finding Amari Cooper. And I think that can be shut down.
Yep.
Next, we got Javonte Williams against an absolute cakewalk of a matchup at Seattle on Monday night. Spencer's got him at 13. I've got him at 15. I expect Denver to blow the brakes off of him. Javonte should be their main back. People have talked about a 55-45 split with Melvin Gordon. I think Javonte's just way better. Melvin Gordon's on the downward side of his career. Javonte should get fed here. I could see a couple tuds.
I could see Melvin Gordon taking away his touchdowns, actually. I could see Melvin Gordon becoming the goal line back, which doesn't really – I see Javonte as more of the – I think Javonte might be more of a powerful runner, but I could see Melvin Gordon just taking away his touchdowns. That just seemed like something he would do.
Yeah, I don't see it. Javonte is so hard to bring down. I think they would give it to him near the goal line.
But Leonard Fournette at 15. I have him at 18. You have him at 13. One of our first real big differences. Dallas is not a great matchup. I just saw today that they want to keep, not have him out there as much. Not necessarily a snap count, but not having him out there 90% of the plays, maybe like they did last year. I could see Rachaad White coming in at some point, at some times. But but there is a realistic shot that Tampa Bay gets down early and might just be passing, or they just want to pass with Tom Brady.
Yeah, well, Leonard Fournette's going to get plenty of passing looks. I think this is going to be a shootout, even though Tampa's got a good defense, as does Dallas. I just think they're going to get down to the goal line plenty. I think Leonard's going to fall into the end zone at least once, and should get plenty of work outside of that. That my reasoning for having him as probably one of the top RB2s this week is for that very reason, just because I think they're going to be high scoring.
Yeah, I have him as a mid to low RB2.
Mm-hmm.
But 16?
David Montgomery, they've got the 49ers at home, not a great matchup. Terrible offense, and San Fran's got a good defense. Spencer's slightly higher. He's got him at 14. I've got him at 17. He's going to get plenty of volume. I just don't think he's going to be able to do much with that volume. The 49ers should be able to hone in on the run game because it's literally just Darnell Mooney in the passing game. So I just don't like it. But if you draft him, you're going to have to play him.
Yep. One of the players you absolutely do not like, Antonio Gibson at 17.47. At 16, you have him 18, so not too big of a gap. Facing Jacksonville should be a great matchup. No Brian Robinson.
Just wait till he comes back. Just wait.
So he's only competing with J.D. McKissick, which he shouldn't be. Antonio Gibson, I think, is a stud. Should get a touchdown or two in this game. Should get plenty of passing work too. But not much to say. Just I think he's a mid RB1. Or mid RB2, not RB1.
Okay. 18, we got Cam Akers. They've got Thursday night against Buffalo in SoFi. Buffalo's got a very good defense, but if there's one thing they're susceptible to, it is the run. Spencer's got Cam at 20. I've got him at 19. He should be the focal point of the run game. I think he'll be getting many more looks than Darrell Henderson. And like we're saying, Buffalo's got a very good secondary, but they can be susceptible to the run. And you got to get the ball quick with Von Miller coming around the edge. So I think Cam Akers could find the end zone here.
Yeah, I'm just a little worried about him not getting his full workload just yet. I still think they're maybe trying to work him in a little bit slowly. People overreacting to Darrell Henderson getting the ball. And then Cam Akers just a full go by like week 5 or 6.
Wait, why? Because of the Achilles?
Yeah, I think that.
In
And
the playoffs last year.
They said that he wasn't good last year, though.
In the playoffs, he actually looked all right, I thought.
But it just wasn't the Cam Akers. And we might not ever see the explosive Cam Akers that we saw before the Achilles injury. Because, we never saw the Marlon Mack after the Achilles injury. And James Robinson's another one who we're kind of scared of. Will we see? He's not really someone who relies on his explosiveness, though.
Yeah.
But I think Cam Akers is somebody who relies on his explosiveness. Didn't look great in the playoffs, in my opinion. I just, nothing sheds off the rust like actual game time. He could practice all summer, but nothing, gets a guy going like some football. That might be the most cringy thing I've ever said in my life.
Yeah, I can agree.
But Breece Hall, I have him at 23. You have him at 16. Huge difference there. He's tied with our next guy for the biggest difference. I don't love the matchup, and I think they might ease him into that workhorse role. You think they're just going to throw him in there? I think that Michael Carter could see a little bit more touches than people are expecting week 1.
Yeah, I could see it. I think Breece Hall is just, without a doubt, the superior running back to Michael Carter. There's potential that Zach Wilson plays, but should be good for Breece Hall. Baltimore, not a great matchup, obviously. Jets get him at home. Could help a little bit. I think they got this shiny new toy. The fans are going to want to see Breece Hall get fed. He has looked good in the preseason. He hasn't bust off the long runs quite yet like he did at Iowa State, but I think he's an absolute animal. My pick for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I see a big workload and a lot of potential.
Next, we have Zeke. Actually, it's your turn, so you go ahead and lean.
Yeah, we got Zeke. We got Zeke versus Tampa. Another big difference here in our rankings. Spencer's got him at 17. I've got him at 24. I hate the matchup against Tampa because Tampa's got a fantastic run defense, and that combined with Zeke just hasn't looked like his old self. And Tony Pollard's going to be more the passing back, I think. I could see him getting plenty of volume. I just don't think he's going to be very good with it. I think if you're playing him as your RB2, you're banking on him falling in the end zone. I think he's a big fade this week, but you drafted him in a spot where you got to play him. So
He was not good against Tampa Bay in the opener last year either.
yeah.
So I could see people overreacting.
Yeah, might be a good trade target after this week.
Yeah, could be. Elijah Mitchell at 21. San Francisco could get up big, like big up against Chicago and just pound the ball. The only thing that keeps Elijah Mitchell from hitting that mid to high RB2 is Kyle Shanahan is just so questionable. Like, who's he going to throw out there? Like, he could just throw out, Jeff Wilson. Say, you know what, I want Jeff Wilson to get 15 touches this game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, we can't say anymore with Trey Sermon because, he got the chop.
Well, they got another rookie coming in there.
But Ty Davis Price, they could say, he's our new shiny toy.
Yep.
We want to get him 15, 20 touches. It's just such a question mark. If he was guaranteed work, I think he's more around that 15, 16 area.
Yeah, and Trey Lance and Debo. So there's plenty of people that are going to be running the ball.
Yep.
22 is Travis Etienne. They got at Washington to open the season. Spencer's got him at 21. I've got him at 20. I love the talent. I think he's going to do really well next to Trevor. In the backfield, J-Rob shouldn't be back just yet, I don't think. If he is, he's going to be really eased into it. And Travis, I mean, he's explosive. It's going to be essentially his rookie season. Didn't play it all last year. Washington's a decent matchup. They got a pretty good defense, but I think he's going to get plenty of volume, plenty of work in the passing game. I like him.
Yep. Rashad Penny at 23.
Our only hope.
Against Denver. I think we have him pretty low because we could see Denver getting up so big and Seattle stop running the ball and relying on their pass game. But then again, you're like, Geno Smith.
Yeah.
I have him as a slightly better play. I think this is the beginning of the flex tier. I think Travis Etienne could be the end of the RB2 tier.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Rashad Penny is the end of the RB2 tier. But I think he's an RB2 flex play this week. You're only going to really see that high tier RB2 level if he shows that he is clearly way better than Kenny Walker and plays a team that won't get up big on him.
Yeah. And Kenny Walker's recovering from a minor surgery, so you could give Penny a chance to separate himself.
Yep.
24, we got Josh Jacobs. They've got the Chargers away. This is a slight difference in our rankings as well. Spencer's got him at 28. I've got him at 21. I love the offensive he's in, and so as long as they can move the ball well, he should be falling into the end zone against the Chargers, who have a great defense. But that's what you're banking on with Josh Jacobs. He's not, he's never going to put up 150 yards. You're banking on him getting 2 tuds. That's what's going to save your week. Not much in the passing game either. I've just got him probably at the bottom end of RB2s purely behind the fact that he's going to be their goal line guy, and they should be able to move the ball.
Yeah, I have him as a mid-level flex play. I don't love Josh Jacobs. I never, liked him his rookie year, but he was also getting 20, 25 carries a game. You're not going to do that with Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, and Devontae Adams anymore. But next, we have Dameon Pierce against Indianapolis. Not a great matchup. And I also think this is, the same with Breece Hall. I have him below Breece Hall because I think Breece Hall is the better player and the better offense. But I think both of them could be worked in slow, kind of slowly. Maybe a little bit more Rex Burkhead this week than you see all season. Or they could just, give him 20 carries out the gate. But
yeah, Indy's not a great matchup as well.
Yeah, but I one of the biggest, I think the biggest sleeper this year, probably.
Yeah, he's up there for sure.
He didn't really turn into a sleeper after he moved up to the ADP of 70 in the final month.
Yeah. People are reaching for him left and right.
Yep, I reached for him in our draft. I got him, I think, in the 5th round. But I'm just banking on him being, a stud.
Yeah. I completely get it. 26, Damon Harris. They open the season at Miami. I think New England's going to want to pound the ball with Harris and Stevenson to keep the ball away from Waddle and Tyreek Hill and all those running backs. We've both got him at 26. You're banking on a touchdown here. Another guy who's very unlikely, kind of like Josh Jacobs, to put up 150 yards. He's more of a bruiser. You could see, Mac Jones didn't look too great in the preseason, but again, it didn't have all his weapons. So I could see Harris getting a touchdown here. That'd be the only thing that probably makes him a decent flex play. Otherwise, you may want to consider your other options.
Yep. I have A.J. Dillon at 27. Not a great matchup, but not a bad one. He's just the RB2 and, not a great offense. I could see him getting 12 to 14 carries. I could see him getting more carries than Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah.
And I think he's a better player than Clyde. That's why I have him above him. I could just see him falling in the end zone because he is just a massive running back.
Mm-hmm.
But I have him as a handcuff to Aaron Jones. Probably won't start him most weeks, unless an injury pops up. But I think he's just, a flex player. If you are waiting for a running back to come back, maybe waiting for Hopkins or somebody like that to come back, then plug in A.J. Dillon, and, he'll give you constant, probably 5 to 8 points.
Yeah, 28. We've got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They start at Arizona. Spencer's got him at 27. I've got him at 29. Flex play at best, in my opinion. He's in obviously a great offense, but they love Jerick McKinnon. They'll probably, give Pacheco some run. And Clyde just hasn't looked like, but very early second round talent that he was drafted as. So I mean, he's in the perfect situation. I just don't think he's necessarily going to be RB2, RB1 material. You're banking on another touchdown as well. The offense is going to move the ball, so you're hoping he gets that goal line work.
Yep. I have Miles Sanders in a great matchup against Detroit. This could be like the highest that we have Miles Sanders all year. They have Boston Scott. They have Kenneth Gainwell.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I mean, Miles Sanders, I just wish he got more work. He's just not going to, though.
Yeah, very good player.
And very, he's injury prone also. That doesn't factor in this week. But, I mean, I could legit see 8 carries for 56 yards.
Yeah.
And just them not giving him any more work.
Yeah, and a little bit of work in the passing game. But I could see them getting up big on Detroit and maybe running the ball. Maybe that salvages the week for Sanders. Big playability, but like Spencer was saying, just doesn't see the ball enough.
Yep.
30, we have J.K. Dobbins. This is contingent on him playing and being healthy. Some videos came out where he appeared to possibly be limping. I don't think so. But
I drafted JK and do not love that video. We've been arguing about it for about a week, though. Is he limping or not?
Yeah. He starts out against the Jets, so a great matchup. I can see them getting up big and pounding the rock. But if that is the case, I don't see why they would want to risk Dobbins aggravating his injury. They've got Mike Davis, they've got Kenyon Drake, and Lamar. Obviously, you love the talent, but you don't love the situation as of right now, coming off the injury. But once he is up to steam, I could see him being RB2.
Yeah, if J.K. Dobbins plays, I could so see him getting like 5 or 6 carries.
Yeah.
Like just getting worked in there.
Yeah, being very cautious.
But that's going to be it for the running backs. Check out our website, theFFFanatics.com, the Twitter, the FF Fanatics 3. We're going to have content all week. We're 2 days away from football. Check out our season predictions on our website. Also, season-long tiers. Anything else to say, Nathan?
Appreciate everybody tuning in. If you haven't already, do make sure you sub to the channel. We're going to be coming out with these videos every week.